Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a Microsoft Surface Pro 5, or the 5th generation. I think part number is 1796. So this one I have here, it's the 8 gig model, 256 gig of solid state. As we'll see the specs later. One side has only audio jacks, and then the top has power, volume up, volume down, and there's nothing else on this side. And then the last side is the power, the MagSafe power, USB, and Thunderbolt. All the way around, there's gaps. You can see those are for cooling. And on the back, you have a camera. And this one comes with a flip keyboard. I think it's called type cover. And it has a kickstand in the back, which opens up, and you can adjust it to quite a lot of angles. Turning it on by pressing the power. The keyboard is magnetic, so it can be laid out to the surface as flat as you can, or you can tilt up and it'll snap to the bottom of the screen, and so you have it at a low angle. It's easier on the wrist and can be taken off completely. So obviously when it's disconnected, you can't really type, but once it's connected, you can actually use a keyboard to log in. And once you're logged in, what we're going to do is that we're going to, detach. Again, you can set it up as an angle with the keyboard and a magnetic attached to itself at the angle to the bottom of the screen. And again, use it as a tablet once the keyboard is detached. So, you can rotate it 90 degrees and it will become horizontal or portrait mode, or you can lay it flat like this, like a normal laptop-ish, with the kickstand out. It'll use the landscape mode. So, so it's pretty versatile. Obviously, this is an older model. The newer ones have smaller bezel, but, for I don't know, from 2017, of 8-year-old device, almost 8-year-old device, is actually not bad. So here's a comparison in sizes between one of my, I believe this is a 15-inch laptop versus this is, I believe, a 12.3-inch Surface. As you can see, the physical size are quite a bit of difference. You have probably about 2, maybe 3 inches of difference in width, and about 2 inches in height, and about half its thickness. So for portability, this is great. Obviously, if you want bigger screens, you probably want bigger laptops. Now we're going to be talking about the specs. Quickly showing you the system info. And this one comes with i5 7300U CPU. Is a 2-core, 4-thread CPU. Running at 2.6 gigahertz. I believe it can actually turbo up to 3.2 gigahertz. Only has a gig of memory, but for the things that I need to do, it's fine. And then this is actually have a Samsung solid state. I don't actually know what it is. I believe it's M.2 probably. So that's a 256 gigs solid state. The OS takes about 45 gigs and 191 gig free. And now we're going to be taking a look at the actual CPU specs. So quick search from, Google or whatever. So Intel has a lot of specs online, and so this one is a 7300U, 14 nanometer size, and transistor size, and it's 15 watts normally, and can go up to 25 watts maximum. So that's pretty good in terms of efficiency. Obviously, it can support a lot more memory, and this one is having a built-in HD 620 GPU. So interesting enough, the screens on these Surfaces are ridiculous. So 2736 by 1824. That's a resolution. I am running at 200% scale. That looks like a normal 1080p. Not 1080p, but like the original, aspect ratio. So doesn't really get that hot, even though this one says it can go up to 100 degrees, but I don't think most of them don't go that hot. And the way that this is designed is passive cooling. So I have also ran NovaBench on this device, and I have a score of 710 total. CPU score is 347. It's not much, and as you can see, it turboed up to 3.2 gigahertz. GPU obviously is really lacking. The onboard GPU just it doesn't compare to anything. It's only got 18, I think. And then memory score is 193, and then SD is 152. So overall, it's kind of a decently balanced device, other than the GPU, obviously. So compared to others, right, and it gave you like a generic report on, like what it thinks of the processor, how well it ranks. It ranks at below 29% of majority of the system tested, or of all the system tested. I was trying to look at other comparisons, but they didn't really have any details. Relative performance is okay. Temperature is okay. Power. This is where it's interesting because it says it's lack of power. But it's because it's a low power CPU. So, compared to standard CPU, desktop CPU is not going to use near as much power. And then system ranking, compared to 2023 medium. Now, this is just every computer they have tested is actually less than half. That's to be expected. This is more designed to be more like a tablet and a more efficient laptop. So performance-wise, I'm okay with it. Obviously, the GPU is it doesn't really have any power at all, and none of these other parts really have any information. So I was trying to see if it compare up to other budget laptops. It didn't really show me anything. Other, you have to pay for it, obviously, but, anyway, so, 710, for this is not too bad. And then, for daily driver, watching videos and surfing web, nothing else. This is plenty. I'm actually using this more like for travels and stuff, so I can have something that I can use for, looking at videos and stuff. And I think I was just trying to show some of the stuff in there. But anyways, so once it's shut down, we're going to be talking about the last part, which is actually one of my favorite parts. The power brick for the Surface Pro is actually quite neat. As you can see, it's decent size, pretty small, and the cable come off obviously, and it's a 2-prong power cable. So while the other end looks cool with a square plug and stuff, if you, let's say you lost this or this part breaks, you can easily find a replacement at any hardware store. So that's cool. And then the other part is there's a USB port built in. Now this is only for charging. There's no data going through it or anything. But if you go somewhere and there's only one plug that you can plug into, and you can't really, and let's say your phone's dying, or you need to charge something, you will have the ability to charge it through USB in your brick, right? Without even using an extension, without using a secondary power outlet. So that part's pretty cool. And then obviously the last part is the kind of like MagSafe power connector, right? So it goes either way, right? Upside, normal ways or upside down, and and it's obviously like MagSafe. So there's magnets in there, so that keeps it in place when you need to, for the most part, and you can yank on it and it will come off. So yeah, for safety, that's pretty good.